Good morning, colleagues, and welcome to the LIASA online event. My name is Aphelele Nzimande. Can anyone, by the show of hand, Oh, okay, I see. I was still speaking. I see you, colleagues. I just wanted to test if my microphone is working and that I'm audible. Thank you so much. You can lower your hands. Again, colleagues, we are happy that you are joining us today. Your participation is very important to the success of this gathering, and we appreciate your commitment to the professional development. Just a quick reminder, please note that all microphones are muted to ensure a smooth experience. You can use the chat box to share your thoughts or questions. If you like to speak, please raise your hand and we will unmute you at the appropriate time. To ensure that we can accurately allocate continuing professional development points for those that are already professional librarians, we kindly ask you to rename yourself correctly. For instance, you can start with your name and surname or put your initials and your surname. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. I believe that everyone can see my screen. I think we are good now. Again, colleague, welcome to the Professional Designation and LIASA Designation application processes. As I said, my name is Aphelele Nzimande. I am the LIASA Training and Development Coordinator. Today's presentation will outline the LIASA as a professional body. I see that it was vital to touch to LIASA as a professional body and to LIASA based on the nature of registration to today's event. We have non-members, we have members, and we have people that are connecting outside the country. So it is very, very important that we touch on to that. And then we will also look at an overview of the professional designation and its significance, tips for preparing and submitting applications effectively. And then together we'll do a step-by-step guide on the LIASA designation application processes. So, as I said, it's important that we touch on who is LIASA based on the nature of the registration to today's event. So I'll just be brief, and then I hope I will be very clear and I will explain who is LIASA to everyone. LIASA is an abbreviation that stands for Library and Information Association of South Africa. It is a professional body. On the 25th of July 2023, there was a government notice that called for comment on LIASA being registered as a professional body. Then in November same year, SAQA informed us that there were no negative comments sent in. So every comment that was sent were positive. So we were then uploaded on this process to start with this process. And then in November 2024, we were recognized by SAQA. In November 2019, we were then re-awarded the status. This is because every 5 years we go through some evaluation processes. and reapply for the designation. And if SAQA finds the quality of our work or the work that we do, then they re-award and recognize us again for the professional designation to be a professional body. LIASA is a non-profit organization, but that doesn't mean that LIASA cannot find ways on making money so that we can run the association. LIASA confers Professional Librarian Designation status, with which we are gathered here today to delve more on Professional Librarian Designation status. So now we are moving on to the professional body, my third slide. Professional body, we can understand or define professional body as an organization that represents and support individuals within a specific profession. For instance, we have SAICA, CIRA for securities, if I'm not mistaken, and then we have LIASA for librarians, us. These professional bodies, set standards for professional practice, and they offer certification or accreditation and provide ongoing professional development and offer network opportunities for their members. SAQA is responsible for the recognition of professional bodies and the registration of professional designation for the purposes of NQF number 67 of 2008. So now what is coming into my mind is the confusion that some of people will have with regards to the statutory body versus professional body. Statutory body is established as a result of acts of the parliament. For instance, the statutory bodies, we have HPCSA, and the registration in these statutory bodies is mandatory. So you can't practice without a professional designation or without registering these statutory bodies. Then on the other hand, we have professional body, which is not constituted through the Act of Parliament, but it is constituted in response to a need identified by collective aspects of practitioners. We have LIASA in this instance, the collective aspects of practitioners gather together always in conference, and then they decide on ways moving forward with the association, and then they voted that LIASA should be a professional body. So they identify needs, and then they collectively made this voting. As I said, LIASA is a SAQA-recognized professional body for libraries and information and related sectors. Therefore, LIASA is mandated to confer a professional designation status. An overview of professional designation and its significance. I'm sure you can see my slide. But before I move to this slide, I think it's very vital that I explain what professional designation is. A professional designation is a formal title or credential awarded to individuals who have met specific qualifications, standard, and experience requirements set by a professional body. This means that a professional body, for you to have this professional designation status, you have to have a specific qualifications. For any designation, there is underlying qualification, and then standards, the experience requirements. So for any professional designation, there is an underlying qualification, standards, and experience set by the professional body. So designation signifies that you, as a holder, you have achieved a recognized level of expertise and you are competent in your field. SAQA can define, or SAQA defines rather, the professional designation as a title or status conferred by a professional body in recognition of person's expertise and right to practice in an occupational field. Let us look into overview of professional designation and its significance. So as I said, professional designation is a formal title. So for now, we will be speaking about Professional Librarian South Africa. As you can see in my screen, it's written PLSA because that is the current designation that we confer at LIASA. We currently have that designation, but we are also in process of getting more designations. I'm sure you'll understand why we move further with this presentation, the differences and why we have this one at this moment. So designation is not a qualification. You can have your degree in library and information sciences and be a professional librarian or be conferred this designation. And designation is not a job title. You can be a manager at your library and your designation will still be professional librarian. You can be assistant librarian, information specialist. There are a variety of positions, as we know, in our sector. So you can be any of those positions, but have this designation. So LIASA only regulated and also new qualification. As I said, designation is not a qualification. So we don't confer any qualifications. What we do, we only endorse new qualification and regulates the current qualification in LIS schools. And we also monitor the professional appointments. As I said, we are not a designation, but designation is not a job title. What we can do, we can only monitor professional appointments. For instance, at the National Library of South Africa, if they decide to take someone who is not a librarian, we can question that and have a query on that. So the key aspects of professional designation and its significant qualification and standards. That's the point number one. To earn a professional designation, individuals need to meet educational requirements and gain relevant work experience. These criteria, as I said, are set by a professional body. So we'll talk about Professional Librarian Designation, PLSA. So to earn this qualification, you have to have a specific, as I said, underlying qualification and experience. We will delve into that as we move further. Point number two, recognition and credibility. A professional designation is a mark of credibility and competence. It is often recognized by employers, clients, and all stakeholders in an organization as evidence of an individual's skills and professionalism in their field. Professional librarian designation validates the skills and knowledge of professionals. This builds credibility within patrons in the library, stakeholders of your library, and colleagues. The designation ensures that professionals are aligned with the library best practices and standards and enhance the quality of library services and information. We move to point number three, continued education. The designation requires ongoing development or continued education to maintain this designation. This ensures that professionals stays current with industry changes and advancement. Maintaining a designation involves continuous professional development and education, which helps the professionals to stay updated with the latest trends, technologies, and best practices in the library and information sciences. And this is a very, very crucial part of the professional designation, because maybe I might completed my degree in 2006, where AI was not through the camp, but into today's life and reality, technology advancement is very, very high. So how can I align myself with the best practices and the changes and advancement in technology? And how can I have a record into that? That is why the significance of professional designation come into effect. The last point is regulations and ethics. Professional designation is associated with adherence to a code of conduct or ethical standard established by the awarding body. This helps to ensure that professionals act in a manner that upholds the integrity of their professionalism. So the professional bodies have right here to revoke your designation, since they award if you do not uphold yourself in a manner that shows the integrity of your professionalism, then the professional body can revoke your designation. Okay. So now, as we are moving, I will be speaking more about professional designation status. So in every example that I will make, it's a professional librarian South Africa. So our designation for today's. So now we understand what a professional body is, the relevance of professional designation, and we want to become professional librarians. So there are 4 things that you need to have in order to be awarded this designation. 1, you should be a LIASA member in good standing. That means your dues should be paid off. You can be in any category of membership except for institutions. You can be an individual member, you can be a student, but you should also have experience. If you are in the category of a student, you can be a volunteer, you can be intern, you can be unemployed. So this designation is open to all LIASA members in good standing. And then meet the academic requirements. So you should have a 3 or 4-year bachelor's degree in library and information sciences or studies. And then if you do not have a bachelor in LIS, you should have a bachelor in anything plus a postgraduate diploma in library and information sciences. So the 3 and 4-year bachelor's degrees, NQF level 7 in other institutions, it is NQF level 8. You can have your Bachelor of Technology, you can have your advanced diploma. All those qualifications fall under NQF level 7. In case that you are holding a foreign qualification, your qualification should be evaluated and verified by SAQA. So LIASA is here to take you through the step of verification, and then we can assist and come in if you have a foreign qualification so that it is aligned with the NQF Act of South Africa. Now, the third thing, you should have at least a minimum of 1 year of work experience. So this work experience in library, it should be in library. Yes, you can work in any position or have any experience in any position in the library. That is 1 year of work experience. So when you're applying, you should also give us the proof of employment. But now we understood that in some institutions, it is very difficult to attain a proof of employment. So we open an option whereby members can attach their CV. So the CPD committee will then contact to verify if you have been employed and you have that relevant experience that is required, which is 1 year of work experience. And then you have to have a valid ID or passport. So all these documents, the work experience, ID or passport and qualifications should be submitted when you are applying for the designation. My slides are moving according to their will. Okay, let me. So now you have the qualifications and you have the experience. You are willing to apply for the professional designation status. Let us go to step-by-step application. So you will go to our website, www.liasa.org.za. So when you land to our homepage, this is what you will see in your screen. We have a banner there that reminds us of the current membership fees for 2024. So there will be no changes in the fees. Members in the conference voted that the fees stays the same. So the fees will be the same. So there are different banners that will be there. But since you are applying for the professional designation, you need to sign in. I'm sure you can see my arrow, my red arrow there. And point number 1, sign in. That is where you sign in to your profile. And then when you click on sign in, it will take you here, member login. So you will put where it's written LIASA member. It's point number 2 on your bottom left. Where it's written LIASA member, you write your username and then you write your password. And then once you write your password, you will land here. This is where you are in your profile. So when you are here, there are, okay. So once you land here, you will go to members on the menu bar. There's home, about, award, and grants. Then you just click on members. That is option number 3. I have prepared some arrows, yeah, but they are not blinking now. That's okay. So you're gonna go to members, click on number 3, members. Once you click there or you put cursor there, you will see those options, membership applications and renewals. You are not there to renew your membership. You do not want to meet the members. You just want the professional body and designation at point number 4. Then you're gonna click on professional body and designation. And then once you click there, it will take you to application for designation form because you've already prepared the documents. Now you have everything saved in your desktop or in any folder. You just click on the application for a designation form. But in case that you want designation template, application for designation template, then it has that you can edit and then be signed by your human resources department. You can always download there. It's just beneath the application for a designation form. So we have individuals, we have unemployed members that can have their template. We have group employment form. So let's say in your organization you are 5 and you all want to apply for designation. You can just put your name in the template there and then give it to your HR to sign it, and then you submit it with your documents. Once you click on the application for a designation form, it will take you to this form because you've already logged in. The first names, the email address, and the other details will be automatically filled. But then you can always rectify and edit if there are errors. And then you choose your attachments, ID. So where it's asterisk, we all know that it is required. The employment date is required because it is asterisk. So you attach all those required documents. Then for the second qualification, third qualification, it's not really required, but if you have, you can attach them as well. So once the CPD committee receive your application and do necessary verifications, they can then award your designation. So you don't have to pay money for the designation as long as you are a LIASA member in good standing. The designation, Professional Librarian Designation, is free. You can apply for it. So the PLSA is a 3-year cycle. So if you are awarded the designation this year, 2024, the designation will expire after 3 years. So you are re-awarded the designation only if you have 20 continued professional development points, 20 CPDs. So the awarding dates, I'm sure we can all see there. It's 1st of January. We have specific dates and specific expiry date. So if, for instance, you submit your application today, it will fall on the 1st of October 2024. Then it will expire in September, 30th of September 2027. If you applied in July 2024, it will expire in June 2027. So all this information are listed on our website under professional designation. So as I said, with this designation comes the responsibility to ensure that your professional knowledge stays current. So it stays current by attending webinars, publishing. There are different activities that you can do that reward you with that can earn you points. I would like to share the points when we are done during the questions session. So in conclusion, LIASA is a professional body. It awards Professional Librarian Designation, PLSA. Designation is awarded only to qualifying individuals as I stipulated the requirements, and LIASA re-award and revoke the professional designation. Thank you, colleagues. I think we can just take questions or comments. So if you have any question, you can just raise your hand so that we can see how we can answer them.
Good morning. This is Fatima Daris. Apilele, could you clarify if uh, the conditions for registration as a professional librarian, does one have to be in employment? Because I remember there's a letter that needs to be submitted from the employer. But if, for example, you're a student and you've recently qualified, can you register as a professional librarian? Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. We can move to the next question. Karin.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. What I just want to ask with regard to the points that are allocated, if I were to receive a point this year, does it also expire by the end of this year, or does it at least carry over in part to the next year? That is one of, I'm not quite too sure of. Thank you.
Thank you, Karin. Maditsepi.
Good morning, colleagues. Hello, Apelele. Thanks very much for the presentation. It brightens or it gives us an idea on what to do on the way forward. My question was the same as Fatima, that says, do we still have to ask our employer to write the confirmation letter that we've been employed, or is it going to be just the forms to fill in and then the office will decide? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maditsepi. Okay, so Fatima asked about the employment and if student can apply for the designation. So the requirement is 1 year experience. The requirement have not changed, so you have to have at least a minimum of 1 year experience. So there are cases whereby other people are students, but they have been working in the library. So that means they have a 1 year experience in the library. So they can be awarded, provided that at least they have NQF level 7. Maybe now they are studying towards their honors, masters or PhD. They are still students, but they have the NQF level 7 qualification and they have experience. So they can apply and they can be awarded the designation. So what happens when someone applies? Before, it was a must that you only send us your proof of employment from your human resources department. But we have seen that in other instances, in huge institutions, colleagues find it difficult to get the letter as fast as they want. So we are now open to the CVs. So you have to send us your CV and then we do the verification check if you've been in the libraries and you have a work experience that is required, and then we can award your designation. So I'm not sure if clear, Fatima and Maditsepi in that. Okay.
Thank you, Apelele. Yes, I'm fine with that. At least you have clarified that. Then we'll be able to do the right thing. Thank you.
Oh,
Same for me.
Thank you,
Apelele. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm sure you can see my screen now. I just logged into not my profile, I'm on our website. So the second question was from Karim. Yes, so he asked about the CPD allocated and their expiry date. Before I answer that question, those are group, activities, CPD activities, as you can see on my screen, but I will share the links with the recordings when we are done with this training. So there are different kinds of activities that you can get a point with. CPD points, you see there, if you've been in a group activities, you've attended the discussion, you earn 1 point. And then individual activities, you been a LIASA, but you will update our website because there are still branch and interest groups. If you are a member of the committee, you get 1 point to that. You've supervised, you get 2 points to that. Formal studies, degree or PhD, you get 10 points. And there are different points, as you can see, different activities that one can do. So now, since a designation is a 3-year cycle, that means in these 3 years, you have to have 20 CPD points. If you were awarded this year, if after this you apply for designation and then maybe we approve this week, and then next week you attend a workshop in LIS related sector, you earn 1 point or 2 points depending on the nature of the event or the training that you've attended. Your points will expire when your cycle expires. So it will expire in 2027. So since it's a 3-year cycle, everything just expire after 3 years. So it's not a yearly expiring CPDs, but it is important that even if you have 20 CPD points, you keep on advancing your knowledge, because that is what this designation is all about, advancing your knowledge and skills. I think I've answered you, Karim. I'm not sure if you have a follow-up question into that before we move to.
Thank you, Palele, because what I understood, after the 3 years, it gets wiped. And then I thought that every year then you've got to get 20, 20, 20. I didn't realize then you build for the next 3 years on a further 20 points. Is that my understanding? Am I understanding it correct?
Yes, to make it clear, 20 points are for your cycle for 3 years. You don't have to get 20 points every year. As long as you have 20 points on your cycle, then your designation will be re-awarded. But it is advisable that you attend events and advance your knowledge within your cycle. You can have 40 points, but the minimum points for you to be re-awarded the designation should be 20 points.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll move to the second round of questions we have. Now I can't remember who raised their hand first, but we'll take Aurelia Sandile and to talk. Sandile. Siwot, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your names correctly. Please forgive me, colleagues. Yes, you can come.
Thanks, Apelele. I think you can hear me from that side. I'm waiting for Tole, this side. It's Sidima.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Apelele, for this presentation. It's really needed for members to aware. My question is related to the question that was raised by Karim with the issue of points accumulated within that cycle. Partly is covered, but now I want to check a member can be able to monitor the points that were accumulated during the cycle. The last part of my question is around, is there any notification if, for instance, I've got those, I've registered or I have applied for the professional designation. Then now I'm supposed to accumulate those 20 points within that 3 years. I didn't manage to accumulate those points. Is there any notification that will be sent to me to say try to check your points because you are about to lose the professional designation for this cycle. Is there any notification? I think that's my question. Thank you very much.
Good morning, colleagues. My name is Sandy Lekanyezi. Thanks, Mr. Apelele, for clarity. At least now we know what is expected of us. So I just wanted to ask, I heard you saying some of the requirements, it's the 3-year bachelor degree or 4-year bachelor degree. So I wanted to know, what about those people who have the 3-year national diploma, and then they have experience, and then they meet all the qualifying criteria, but then they have 3-year diploma, not 3-year bachelor degree. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. It's Sir Walter. Please forgive me, colleagues, if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. You can unmute and...
Hello, can you hear me? Sorry,
Yes, we can hear you.
The question I want to ask is, sorry, let me lower my hand. I do attend things that are not organized by LIASA, and I was wondering if I can upload or add those to my profile.
Thank you.
I've attended some things from the American Library Association about AI and other things, and the other acronym, the African Library Association, whose acronym I can't remember. I've attended some things run by them, and I just wondered if I can upload certificates or statements about attending those to my profile.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I understood your question. So Sidima asked if members can check their points. Yes, you can check your points, and you can always know how many points you have. So our system allows members to log in to their profile and check their CPD points. So what we do from the office to notify members about their designation status, we normally check how many points individuals have. And then let's say you have 10 points and then you've been awarded this designation for the past 12 months. Then we'll send you a letter saying that you have 10 CPD points, and then your designation will expire maybe in the next 12 months. So make sure that you send us the activities that you've attended, or attend the continued professional development activities. So we do on a regular basis notify members with the status of their professional designation. And we also send the email from the system, which will just give you the points. It's more like a slip. It will give you the points, the activities that you've done, and how many points you have accumulated. So we do notify members about their designation status. So Sandy, they ask about a 3-year degree, which is a national, about the national diploma. So the requirement so far, because we are now awarding the Professional Librarian South Africa designation. So this designation, it's underlying qualification. The minimum is NQF level 7. So if you have national diploma, it's a must that you have the advanced diploma in LIS or Bachelor of Technologies in Library Information Sciences. But we are still working in trying to find lower designation, which will, the requirement would be lower than a degree. We have applied through SAQA, but we couldn't articulate our application well. So we were not awarded that right to confer those designations that we wanted to confer. But in the future, in the nearest future, I hope we will have the designation for librarians having qualifications that are lower than NQF level 7. So LIASA. Yes, so the third question was if you are attending something outside LIASA, for instance, you are attending the American Library Association ALA conference, do you get points to that? Yes, you do. What you do, you just go there and send us the proof of attendance. What we need, the proof of attendance, and then in some instances we will require a program to see what was discussed and the speaker to see that is it aligned with LIS and the field. So we then give points based on the activity that you've attended. For instance, as I shared the screen of activities, LIASA does not confer qualifications. You can study elsewhere something that is LIS related, and then you send us the qualification and then or the proof of qualification completed, and then we can award or give the CPD points to that. So it does not necessarily need to be LIASA, and we encourage members to attend as many activities as they can, even outside LIASA, so that they can expand their knowledge, they can stay updated with the current trends in the field, because we might not cover everything in LIASA. So I think I've answered those questions clearly. I'm not sure if there are follow-up questions to that before we move to the third round of questions. Thank you, colleagues. Now we have one hand, Sinethemba Mzila. Before I take you, I will just check the questions and answers. I will try to answer them here so that we can all understand. Mzila, please keep your hand raised so that I can unmute you. Okay, unmuted now. So, Dolon, thank you for this informative presentation. What is going to happen when you are unemployed? I think we've answered that. I think that was clear. Does one have to submit either CV or proof of employment or submit both? Thank you, Pindile, for that question. You submit one. If you have proof of employment, you can submit it. If you have CV, you can submit it. It's not required to submit both. The CPD committee will do the verification of your employment. Either you submit your CV or your proof of employment, so you can submit one. Can you add attendance at the library, CPD webinars, etc., that are not organized by LIASA? Or we've answered that question. I think others. I also want clarity with regards to 3-year national diploma. I think we've answered that, Pindile. Unless there would be a follow-up question, you can just raise your hand and then we can have a chat. I want to know if one has to fill in the application once the cycle expires. Is there a shorter way of doing it? Thank you, Lihle. Once you apply for the designation, you do not have to reapply. So when we are uploading CPDs from the office, we see that you have 20 CPD points. We will just issue out a letter upon your cycle expiring we'll just send you a letter to say that your designation has expired. We have renewed your designation for the 3-year cycle. So we'll explain that now you have to start from 0 to 20 points again. So you do not have to reapply. Once you apply, you don't have to reapply unless if your designation is revoked. Let's say you do not uphold yourself in a manner that shows integrity, as I said earlier on, or you do not have continued professional development points. So we will revoke your designation. You will have to reapply to the same process again. I think that was clear, but you can raise your hand and you can have a follow-up question. Senator Mzila, you can ask your question.
Thank you so much, Aphelele. Good morning, everyone. Aphelele, my question is based around the proof of attendance, right? So, you did mention that we can send proof of attendance. So now my question is, that proof of attendance, can it be screenshots of like the feedback that we get after one has gone through a specific webinar or training? We normally get emails that say thank you for attending. Sometimes they have the recording as well. So is that the type of proof of attendance that one can possibly send? I asked that simply because I have registered for professional designation for a while, and I've been attending a lot of webinars. However, there's this seminar that is happening on the 7th of November in CPUT, and I did register for that. And then only then I got an email about getting 2 points for it. However, I've been also attending lots of stuff throughout the entire year. So I just want to know that should I be sending screenshots of the email communications that I have been getting? Thank you.
Thank you, Senator, for the question. With the proof of attendance, how we can see that you've attended. Yes, you can send us the screenshot, the register or certificate, but only if those events are not LIASA online events. For instance, you will attend something at your local municipality libraries that we are not aware of. So then the register will be required or certificate, or you can just take a screenshot and upload it on the proof of attendance when you are applying for a point. On the you spoke about the 7th November event at CPUT. That CPUT, that event, you do not necessarily need to submit the proof of attendance or the communication because it is LIASA accredited event. I'm sure you've seen it with the mailing. So we have accredited that event, so we automatically get the register once the event is done. So what we normally do, sometimes it may take time for people to see their CPD points, but we do have the register. We upload the CPD points only for the events that we hold from the LIASA online events. I'm not sure if you have a follow-up on that. That was clear in September.
No, that is fine. I understand now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have a hand. Maninjwa. Okay, let me unmute. You can unmute and speak.
Thank you. And good morning, colleagues. Thank you, Aphelele, for this enlightening presentation. My question is around when you apply for the first time for the designation, do you need to already have 20 points, or you start accumulating the minimum of 20 points once you have been awarded the status for the 3-year period? Thank you.
Thank you. Apologies, colleagues, for the background noise. I think there's a match outside the office here. So other colleagues are singing out there. Before I answer a question, there's Usandile Kanyezi wants to follow up on the 3-year national diploma. Yes, so does it mean those who have 3-year national diploma should not apply at the moment? Okay. Yes, so the question about 20 CPD points, you start accumulating points once you are awarded the designation. So if we award you today, and then because let me share my screen again. Okay, let's come here. So designation is a 3-year cycle, as I said. So I will make an example of colleagues that applied on the first dates. As you can see, 1st of January 2024, that designation will expire on 30 December 2026. So for instance, you are applying between January to 30th of April 2024, your designation will fall on the 1st of January 2024. So the only CPD points that you will have are from 1st of January. If you have attended events from the 1st of January and you have done some activities during that period, those are the only activities that will earn you the CPD points. If you have done something previously, because you are not a professional librarian by designation, then so we do not count those activities in. So I think that was clear. And Usandile follow-up, the follow-up question, yes, so far, the colleagues should not apply if they have the 3-year national diploma, but we do encourage them to keep their head up for the new designation that we may have if the SAQA approves. And again, we encourage colleagues to maybe further their studies if they want this specific designation, because that designation will have different names. Maybe it will be junior librarian in South Africa, etc., etc. But we'll see what we work around to that. So the anonymous ask, how do I submit proof of a reading of academic LIS-related articles for professional development? Whom do I submit this to for my points? It's listed under individual activities. Yes. Yes. What you do, when you are uploading your CPD there on your profile, you just tick the activity that you've done, and then you can submit the reading of article in academic LIS-related field. So we have a CPD committee in LIASA. So we have different people from different fields that are working in the committee. So they will go through the proof of reading of academic, the short summary or anything that you will submit. They will go through it and then the article and then see that, yeah, you are deserving to get I think it's 3 CPD points, then they can award you those 3 CPD points. If that was not clear, you can raise your question. And then another question, if you apply this year, will LIASA take account of your attendance at LIASA events this year? If your events fall under the awarding date, then you will be awarded the points. If you apply today, this event, or if you apply between today and 31st of December, you will get point for this event because you've attended this event. I hope I've answered. I'm not sure if there are any questions further before we close. Okay, I didn't went to chats. Let me just quickly check on chats, because maybe there are very, very important questions that we need, or comments that we need to discuss here. Okay, there are no comments. So quickly, I will share my screen on how one can upload their points, and you will see the other things that I was talking about here before we close this meeting. So I'm logging into my profile. I will share once I'm in. I do not want to share my passwords. They are confidential. Let me sign in. Can you confirm, colleagues, that my microphone has been unmuted if you can see my screen? Yes, I think that hand says that everyone can see my screen. So now I've logged into my profile. As you see, they sign out if they want to sign out. So the banners change regularly. So once you log into your profile, you go to my profile and then click on manage profile. So once you click on manage profile, it will take you to this page. So what you are looking for here, you will go straight to content and features there, but you are here for professional development. So you will click there on professional development. So this is where you can see the points that you have attended, the points that you have in the activities that you have attended. So the status, they are approved, and then when they will expire, so the date will be there. They will expire in this date. So the expiry date is that side. Sorry, they were entered this date. So the details. So there will be a detail of what activity you've attended and how many credits you have, how many points, the expiry date. Since this was not an article that I've read or anything, so there won't be any score to that, so it will be an A. So now you are here, you want to upload an activity that you've attended, a point. So you will go to entry here, add entry, because we want to add your point. So where there's plus sign and green plus sign, and then it's written add entry, you click there. So it will take you here. So certificate program, is this entry for certificate program? Is it if you it was a certificate program, you can click yes. If not, then you can click on other credit types. So we have list of credit types. So if it was not a LIASA event, maybe you can just say industry-related workshop, industry-related conference, maybe you were in ALA or in Association of Nigerian Libraries. So you can click there. If it was LIASA AGM and you haven't uploaded your designation, you click there. If it's a journal article, you click formal studies, you click, you can just click there and tell us it was a degree. You published, co-authored, sorry, you published and co-authored a book, you edited a book, you reviewed the publication. So those are different activities there. You click there based on the activity. So entry date, it will be the current date, and then the description. So you will describe what was the event or what you did shortly. Just write the name of the article you have read. You just describe it. So with the credits, since you know how many points one can get, you can put 1 point or 3 points, but before we approve from the office, we verify everything. Since you see here, I think the status is, yeah, the status is approved. So if it is not approved, we will decline and write a note here. The note will be sent to your email as well that, no, maybe there's a document that is missing or there's something that you do not understand. We'll decline and put a note, or if it is in progress, you want a further details, we'll just put a note there that please submit 1, 2, 3. So we always write notes. So credit expiry, this is where your designation will expire. With score, you wait for the CPD committee to give you a score. If it was an article, activity code, that's the office. And then here, you choose the file. Let's say now you have the screenshot of, thank you for attending this event. And then there are those registers that maybe you manage to get. Then you can just choose a file and then you can select the file and then you submit. Then if we want extra documents, because maybe we will say thank you for attending and we want to see maybe the program and other thing, then we will put your point on progress and ask you to submit those documents. So this is where your CPD, now it doesn't want to copy and cancel. This is where you submit your CPD points and see and check if you are still in track with your continued professional development. I think now I can stop sharing. And if there are no further questions, I think we can, oh, there's a question. Yes, you can go on.
Can you hear me? It's, while you were talking, it just occurred to me that in November I'm going to attend a training session by a database provider, because they're changing the format of searching the database. Would something like that be considered as appropriate, because using these databases is essential to my job?
Yes, that will get you a point. Please do upload your point or just email us the proof of attendance to see if we can. Yes, I see your hand.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Colleagues, is there any question before we close this training? Let me quickly check on questions and answers if we've answered everything. My entry says approved, but does not have the golden lock on the next of entry. Does it mean it still needs to be assessed? Thank you, Anonymous. If it was approved, maybe the office staff didn't log them, because if it's not logged, you can always edit it on your side. The purpose of logging them is for a member to not have access to that activity. So once it's logged, the point will remain there, but we will check. Thank you so much. You can email us at the office your name, and then we can check what happened with your points. Thank you. So I think we have come to an end of this training. Thank you so much, colleagues, for joining us today to this training. I hope that at least we are now 90, we're over 100. I hope by the end of this month, we will receive 90 applications for the professional librarian designation status. Thank you so much, colleagues, for joining us. Have a great day. Have a great week. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Aphelele.
Thank you,
Thank
Aphelele.
you.